Welcome back. So in between the parts, I went and got Memento Orb number 3. It was on the fourth plane, the fourth domain. That was it, domain, isn't it? Yeah, it was on the fourth one that I had to go to. So we got the Searing Flare and Glacial Rime. So I'm assuming we're going to learn about how these two got their stigmas. Let's have a gander. I assume. The Dominions. Those who bear marks of power. These members of the Gralsritter are miracle bringers whose order has persisted through the past millennium. However, they tend to act alone. Outside of occasions where they need to travel by air in the macabre, the power contained in their stigmas makes traveling alone much easier. It is relatively uncommon to see knights and squires work outside of very small groups, and even less common to see dominions work together. Further, it is even more unlikely to see a pair truly learn to cooperate and think of each other as partners for an extended period of time. Nevertheless, in the current era, 2 centuries into the still young millennium, there exists 2 such unique stigma bearers. The Searing Flare and the Glacial Rime. Their contrasting natures may ultimately be the reason fate saw fit to bring them together. Their histories contrast in much the same way, parallel, yet uneven. The woman known as the Searing Flare was once a girl from a provincial town on the outskirts of the continent. Born and raised in the slums, she had no family to speak of, but she took care of the other orphans, and they looked up to her like a big sister. In order to survive in such a place, theft and violence were daily occurrences, but the children made sure to not cross certain lines. A traveling nun would sometimes come by to visit, and though the girl found her annoying, she cared deeply for her and all the other children. However, when the girl was about 13 years old, she and the rest of the children fell prey to a human trafficking group and were kidnapped. Upon finding out, the traveling nun immediately flew to their aid, giving no thought whatsoever to the danger it may pose to herself. Meanwhile, the traffickers were preparing to torment the poor girl. As they approached her, her stigma suddenly awakened. In an overwhelming display of force, a sea of raging flames engulfed the men. Their screams of agony began to frighten the other children, and shaken by how they now looked at her with fear, the girl's flames began to dim. Taking advantage of the situation, the first of the traffickers to be struck by the flames aimed his pistol at the girl, and a dull shot rang out. And as the girl looked down, she saw the traveling nun, Sister Ortesia, lying on the ground before her, a bloody hole in her body. Oh, so you took her name. Oh.
Damn it. I was too late.
As the girl slowly processed what was happening, a burly middle-aged priest ran up to the scene. He quickly knocked the man with the gun unconscious and examined the nun. However, it was eminently clear she was mortally wounded.
Thank the goddess. You're all safe. Please, live. Give meaning to the fact that you were brought into this world.
Don't give me that crap! What's the point if you just die instead?
Oh, it's like, just moving on, alright, okay. It's like, okay. The man known as the Glacial Rime was once a boy born in the Erebonian Empire. The 3rd son of a viscount. Even from a young age, he would often speak as if he could see right through people. He could also predict misfortune and perform feats impossible for a human being. This led to those around him, even his family, shunning the boy.
That uncle of mine and the rest of your family are a cruel lot. If no one else will, Allow me to be your ally.
Amidst all this, there was one soul who treated him with a kindness. A young man who was his cousin from another branch of the family. But even this kindness was false, as he had a loathsome hidden agenda and an even more horrific dark side. The year before, a loathsome cult had been eradicated in a secret international operation, and he was one of its priests, having escaped detection. In order to gain power enough to rebuild his cult, he sought to force the boy's powers out of control to kill the Viscount's family. But the boy, despite once admiring his cousin's keen intellect, saw through to his true objective before that could come to pass. The boy successfully took hold of the power spilling out of him and manifested it as a freezing flame.
You monster! Ah!
But even after freezing his cousin and all the remnants of his cult solid, the power overflowing from the boy would not cease.
He was right. I'm nothing more than a monster. It would be best if the provincial army dealt with me.
Caught in a spiraling mix of fear and desperation, the boy was snapped back to his senses when a deep, warm voice called out to him.
Thank goodness I made it in time. You need not worry any longer, lad.
Who are you?
With that, the incident was resolved and the boy's cousin, along with the rest of the remaining cult members, were placed under arrest. Despite the boy having saved both families from his cousin, they feared a scandal and continued to vilify him as a monster. Enraged at this, the elderly priest roared at them like a lion, then took the bewildered young boy to his new home in a faraway country. It was under the old lion's tutelage where the Searing flare and the Glacial Rime would finally meet. They became sibling pupils, only 3 years apart in age, though in the beginning they got along like oil and water. A year later they were assigned to an instant in northeast Sumeria. After many trials, they completed their mission, and their relationship improved ever so slightly. Afterward, they were each granted a macabre. Since then, they spent many years working together and have formed a mutual bond of trust, the likes of which is hard to come by. I expected more from like how the relationship was built up between them. It's just like, it's just over time. Let's start to trust each other. It's like, oh. Okay. Searing flare and the Glacial Rime end. Yeah, I would have just liked a bit more from that. I feel. Like like explaining their little traumas and how the stigmas came to be. Sure, that bit, good. But yeah, I wanted more about the trust they have between each other. That would have been interesting to go into, but alright.
Shut one up.
It's fine. Maybe we'll get it later. Maybe it's just a build-up, maybe. Anyway, let's do a bit of rounds in here. While we're here. Meister Jörg Rosenberg, a man once affiliated with the Society's 13 factories. And yet I hear he's recently been appointed as Marduk's technical advisor. Is that correct? Well, we did have a new associate join our ranks of late, but I'm afraid his past affiliations have remained a mystery to me. What I do know, however, is that the man seems to share a name with a particular celebrated doll maker. That said, he isn't based at our HQ in Ored currently. Instead, he's moved his atelier to a certain city-state. Yikes, with all those questions he's dodging, doubt even Elaine will get one to land. If I remember correctly, you're the one who helped the Meister move, right? Yeah, don't tell Elaine though. If she ever finds out, I won't hear the end of. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Jörg wanted me to tell you how much he appreciated your help, Van. Oh dear. Thanks to you, he got to bring all his tools with him. He would have never been able to make this body without them. Is that right? Uh-oh. That's our LP, never hesitating to say what's on her mind. Sounds like you've known Jörg for quite some time already. You certainly don't lack for connections in Marduk, do you? Well then, how about this? Once you settle matters in the garden, would everyone care to take a little vacation? To Valis, where the Meister resides, or I suppose I should say, to our investors' homeland? Where the hell'd that come from? That sounds like a wonderful idea. The food there is lovely. I'd have jumped at the chance under normal circumstances. I mean, vacation time would mean more lovey-dovey time with us. But a free vacation's never actually free, is it? Indeed. If nothing else, we appreciate the offer, however. By the way... Yes? She's probably too happy about me taking Anya's out for a night patrol, huh? Never mind, it's nothing. Just try not to stay up too late, okay? You'll likely want to get an early start tomorrow. Yes, of course. Don't you think you should be taking your own advice? I mean, only so much overtime you can do before your health and good looks give out on. Don't stay up too late. Yes, ma'am. What's going on with Elaine and Anya's? Nothing that involves us, LP. At this point, we're just going to have to watch from the sidelines. Leave matters in the capital to me. Granted things go smoothly, I should be able to link back up with you all in about 2 days. 2 days? Can't say I expected him to be the cause of the unauthorized access alert. Suppose it's best the matter remains in your hands at the moment. Of course, as promised, we should be able to expand the features here in order to aid your efforts. Looking forward to our continued collaboration, Mr. Arkwright. Yeah, we'll do what we can. Expand the features, he says. Well, with Mirabelle in charge, I doubt we'll have to worry too much. As a result of Marduk's support, the extra member limit has been increased to 2. Oh! Wonder how many people missed that by not speaking to him. I'm from Valis as well, actually. If you ever have the time, I'd highly recommend visiting someday. Quite a few world-renowned sweet shops call the area home, you see. You even find shaved ice as light as snow, luxuriously rich castella cakes. And I'm sure you're familiar with the juicy dried fruits, of course. Now you're just being a jerk on purpose. Man, that's all it takes, huh? Oh, their dried fruits were the best. I'm particularly fond of the dried peaches and melons. You're killing the man, LP. He's like, I want them now. Grandpa York, huh? Been like 3 whole years since I've seen that guy. Would love to pay him a visit with S someday. You know, to say thanks and all. Maybe when we get our bonus from Kevin, we can all go see him together. Bonus? Better not to ask. Yeah, best not. At this stage, anyway. Alright, hello. You've really grown a lot, Freddy. I'm impressed. She hasn't, we checked this. And considering you're only 14, the sky's the limit. You think? I mean, I feel like I'm nowhere near where you and Nadia are. I'd refrain from feeding her too many compliments, if I were you. Unnecessary praise isn't conducive to growth. Ah, your standards are just too high, Cassim. Now, Freddy. Seems older siblings worry about their younger cohorts is common in every culture. I won't deny that. Damn right you can't. I've heard Rufus is from one of the great noble houses of the Empire. Apparently his little brother has taken over as heir. Yeah, though he tries his best to keep in touch where he can. To let him know he's still alive, you know? Interestingly enough, we actually happened to run into a number of your associates in Tharbad recently. There was Marielle, the Urta sisters, and the legendary gambling duo from the Rumors, yes? Really? I mean, that's what I'd heard from Marielle and the sisters, but lines up with what Jack and Hal told me. You ever looking for info, those two will have you back. Well, as long as the drunk's got his chaperone with him. I see. I'll consider doing just that then. Perhaps when the rain stops. Oh, it's raining, is it? Alright. As Marduk's security division currently has other matters to attend to, I was planning on leaving the matter to all of you, but... Seven's involvement in the appearance of the Six Angui on top of that changes things. I may have failed this time, but I am resolved to provide support for as long as I am able. I've just about finished preparing everything I'll need for our time in Ankerville. but since I'm still feeling kind of antsy, I figured why not take the chance and warm up a bit? Especially since Kasim's here now. Gives us the perfect opportunity to train together. I'll think about it if you prove you can keep up with me. Of course I can. Oh, brother. They certainly seem to be on good terms lately. Yeah, much improved relationship. It's nice. By the way, Agnes, how's Albert handling being student council president? Must be rough having to fill Ren's shoes like that. Especially since he strikes me as the type to shoulder everything himself. But I think he'll be just fine. After all, he's one of the most earnest, hard-working people I've ever met. He's always been there for Odette and I. Practically ever since I can remember. I see. No, it's only been 2 months, but I'm already feeling kind of nostalgic for Animus. Well, that reminds me, I do actually have some new costumes that I got in between the parts. Here and there. Swimsuit. Oh! Interesting to see that again. Back to normal. Penny's uniform. I do like that one, though. The colours are nice. The colours are nice. Keep that one, though. Nothing more for Rufus. Swimsuit with top. Swimsuit. Uniform. Go back to what we should be. Said one pit attire. Oh my. Can I like the jacket part? Can I have the jacket part? I like the jacket part. Tracksuit. Swimsuit. Which one did we have? The old cover. Let's put it in remove at this point, because like story-wise she's meant to be wearing the uniform, so it's like she's changing up the costumes, so maybe hold on to that a bit. A balloon? Wow. Green sword, right? Banner Film Festival. We won't be having any of that though. No. Looking for Crow. Risha's outfit. Ooh. Leave it as that though. No. Yeah, prefer that one. Nothing more for Ren. Nothing more for Nadia. Swin. Altina. Ooh, Judith. Bathrobe. Bikini. Swimsuit with top. It's so gold. It's gold. Leave yours is. A towel. Look at them muscles. Look at them. Ooh, back muscles. My God, dude. You're a monster. You're a monster. A lion, you might say. No. Go back to normal. A swimsuit with top. Very Lecter. And then we're back. Alright. Onwards with the rounds. To doom. Wasn't expecting to run into Yin in the garden, that's for damn sure. Ain't teaming up with us gonna have you swamped? I mean, I know our conceal's unbreaking all, but I feel like Ashen's got you busy enough as is. Yeah, you're making sure to keep up with practice, right, Risha? You got a heck of a lot on your plate. Well, it's nothing compared to what you do, Judith. After all, I imagine starring, I mean, some people will be starring, but starring in all those movies of yours must be leagues more stressful. But in all seriousness, joining you enables me to be more proactive with matters here in the Republic, which in turn will prove useful to those at home as well. Or at least I hope it will. Your love for Crossbell knows no bounds, I say. Oh yeah, get Sal. Did say something about the CPD having a playboy on their roster. Yeah, you've been dodging the subject for way too long. Ask me, I think it's time you came clean. Got all the time in the world here, after all. Please go easy on me. What I know, there are 2 people who helped Risha become who she is today. A woman from Arkansas and... Well, I'll pull the answer from her eventually. After all, we got plenty of time. Lloyd Bannings. You know, despite being such a celebrated performer, Judith sure can be quite the gossip. It's not as if I've been actively avoiding talking about the people I know in Crossbell. It's just the topic was never quite relevant. Now that I think about it, it's been a while since I've been to Crossbell. Wonder how the SSSSSSSS is doing. Yes. Be nice to see Yin in the Arkansas show someday. Might even give me some inspiration for my sword dancing. I mean, that whole balancing act of hers must have made her a real powerhouse on the stage. Yep, she's gonna be balancing quite a few things, alright. Damn. Apologies about the GM just popping in out of nowhere like that. Foisting work on another company only to stick his nose into their business. The man's got a lot of nerve. Now, Mirabelle. It's not as if this is the first time this has happened. I know I'm not the one to talk given the contract I signed with him, but man, that GM of yours? Shadiest bastard I ever met. So shady, in fact, it almost circles back around to him being trustworthy again. Bro, well, at the very least, he does always seem rather busy with more clandestine matters. But that said, I don't believe I saw him in Basel. Oh, at the combat exercise, you mean? I'd heard a thing or two about the new AF model myself. No details, though, so no worries. I know it's all supposed to be pretty hush-hush. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Bet you're only saying that because you got your own secrets. Kinda sounds like they had a few run-ins with each other. Yeah, something clearly went down with Thor's crew recently. Just can't say what exactly. Neither can I, I'm afraid. However, it does seem that they have lately departed Basel. Oh, I see. Yes. So, when the GM mentioned he'd received reports of unauthorized access, he was talking about the crazy old-timer, right? And he must have asked Little Miss Streamer to sneak him in the back door. Little Miss Streamer? The Thousand Oathbreaker. Sure picked up a hell of a time to show up, I'll give him that. Though it did kind of sound like he's abroad at the moment. It would make me feel a lot better if we knew for sure whether or not he was involved with the situation on the surface, honestly. I believe it's best we don't let our guards down, especially as it seems he holds significant sway over the enforcers. And with that, influence a girl's powers? Got a feeling she's going to be trouble in the future. Just doesn't make sense how she can even be able to interfere with the garden in the first place. And through a VR drone, no less. Actually, about that, she mentioned something about streams? Is that a service provided by the Grim Garden? That's correct. They're only available to members at present. The security clearance necessary to obtain it is extremely high. Of course, as it appears she has several thousand viewers, we do plan on looking into her from that angle, but don't exactly have the resources to spare at the moment, so it's going on the back burner until things with the space program have slowed down a bit. Personality like that, though, be lying if I'm not even a little interested in what her streams could be like. I can't say I disagree. Curious to know what she would even talk about. No, not see that slutty little getup she was in. The girl's getting hit with a ban next couple of days, mark my words. Crow, enough! Wish we knew a way to catch her streams. The Ouroboros channel is now viewable from the Reminiscence pedestal. Oh, Anya's. Your birthday is the day after tomorrow, right? We managed to wrap up this mess before then. You mind if I drop in on the party? Oh, sure, if you can manage to find some free time, we'd love to have you. When I told her about the party we held last year, she insisted she would see herself invited to our next one. At any cost. To put it in her words. Hey, wait a sec, she didn't need to know that. In that case, mind if we swing by too? I'd already planned on attending myself, but would it be alright if the others came as well? I know there's kind of a lot of us, so... That should be fine. I appreciate the concern. I'm sure Monmart will be more than thrilled to have a few more mouths to feed. They've been planning for her birthday for weeks. That's the same again. Hello, Agnes. I see you're on the job with Mr. Arkwright today. She's supposed to be the #1 assistant, right? Not bad, Arkwright. I mean, if we're being honest, she kind of forced herself into that position. Just accompanying on his nightly patrol at the moment. Oh, there, alright then. Let's see about the Ouroboros channel. See if there's anything new. No, we've seen those before, haven't we? I like it how it's actually got the date on it. And like, yeah, it's just putting it there so we can have a little look at it should we want to. Again. Jin. Ren, been a while since we've seen each other, hasn't it? I'll say I haven't been in the same room together since Prince Oliver and Sherazad's wedding. Heard Reese and that commander woman were there at the time too. Is that so? I'd heard the prince had friends in the braces, but so nice seeing everyone together again, and especially at such a lovely wedding. Is Reese doing well, by the way? Too well, even. That girl's doing a number on her Engel's coefficient. Told her she'd end up gaining weight if she kept at it. You know what she did? Ate twice as much on the next mission. Let me freaking wallet dry. Not very tactful, are you, Kevin? Still got you dancing in the palm of your hand. In the palm of her hand, I see. I hope he isn't simply putting on a facade for us. Of course he is! Kevin! Niece, it seems like we just keep missing each other. As to why she isn't here, however, well, it's probably best I don't ask. It's probably to do with his line of work currently. She's probably not happy with the whole heretic hunter aspect being back. She would not be happy with that. We're all wedding in the Empire. I happened to still be recuperating at the time, so I was unfortunately unable to attend. It would be nice to see my friends in the Empire again, as well as the Nords who nursed me back to health, of course. Of course. You know, chat like this really takes me back. LeBel. Would love to take a trip back someday. Maybe we will later this year. Maybe. Depends if it gets delayed. Already been 6 years since that shutdown incident in LeBel, huh? Only 6 years. Again, think how fast the technology's advanced. It's 6 years from everything we had in SC from this context to now. Like the technology level we saw in SC to they're going to space. 6 years. Bloody hell. Man, we've come a long way. Yeah. Would love to get Estelle and the rest of the crew back together for a meetup someday. Surprised people are coping with the technological changes that are happening around them. I mean, I know each country is probably developing differently, but still, only 6 years? This swimming pool is quite nice. It brings to mind the breaks I would take when I was still with the swimming club. It's certainly a nice place to relax, I'll give you that. Though using it has me feeling a bit guilty, to be honest. To me, is his scar more stylized now? Like it's got a border around it. I like it, but it's interesting. Given you're from a place known as the Hot Springs Paradise, I can understand why you might feel that way. Actually, speaking of hometowns, you guys are currently in Basel, correct? We are, yes. The city is remarkably beautiful, and their nuss-tots are delicious as well. Professor Hamilton is your adopted grandmother, right? Love to meet her while we're still in town. Because he's totally still in town, right? Something about the way he said that was strange. He's not in town. Not in town, mate. And the night sky here is normal. I mean, that makes sense, but I guess I'm just going to have to think on this some more. Basil. Talking about it's got me longing for home again. It's been a while since I thought about going back. Wonder what Gran's been up to. Hope she's taking care of herself. I'll need to have the data we collected from EOS analysed by the end of the night. Its contents, perhaps? Wait, is there a night sky here? It is. Okay. I mean, this place is fake anyway. Like, we know that. We got any dots? Small dots? Small dots? No, we do not. Small dots. So let's leave. Yes, leave. And seeing as I'm here, let's continue a bit of the rounds over here.
Can't find anywhere else.
Dunn mentioned having to close up his patissier stand early tonight to take care of some business. But then Peggy up and offered to man the place in his stead. I called my wife over to go with her, so it's nothing to wring my hands about. I just miss my little girl so much. Oh dear. I'd give anything to buy some cannelles from Peggy, but the fish can't just monger themselves. Daddy misses his little girl. Aww.
If the launch succeeds, what comes next?
My jewelry is relatively affordable compared to other establishments. Of course, the stones themselves are smaller to compensate. But they make a wonderful opinion option for students. I suppose it might be nice to treat myself for once, the way you do sometimes. You got a good bit of mirror saved up from your pay, so I don't see why not. You could get it as a present. Oh dear. Want me to pick one out? Honestly, be more than happy to let you. But my choice was to have this quality time in lieu of a present, remember? Yeah, but still. Still, thank you for thinking about me. Tja, you and your self-restraint. A taco? Ah, there's nothing quite like street food in the summer. A spicy taco in one hand and a nice cold craft beer in the other. You ain't got one. It's a match made in heaven, I tell you. But you only have the taco. Oh. Negotiations in Tharbad went swimmingly thanks to you, Carol. Plus, you even went and got a fresh pulse on the Calvadian textile trends from the market here. Job well done would be underselling it. Let's keep up the good work at our next destination, shall we? You're too kind. But wow, it catch me off guard when I learned we're off to Ankerville. Oh, I mean my hometown of all places. A happy coincidence, no? What's more, we'll likely be there a few days before our business meeting. Haven't been back there in a long while, so I want you to use the extra time to let loose and unwind after we arrive tomorrow. That's awfully considerate, but what will you be doing in the meanwhile, Hashem? Oh, why, what else but a bit of casual sightseeing. The place you grew up in has me quite curious. Though I'd be even more thrilled if by any chance you were willing to go about together. Huh? Oh, don't mind me. Now then, on to those drinks I promised you tonight. There's a little-known bar near our hotel. Oh. Who could have guessed work would take me back to my hometown? The world sure works in mysterious ways. Come to think of it, this will be my first time going back alone since moving out. When I still lived in Edith, it'd always be me and my brother making the trip together. It really is some coincidence that our next business negotiation just happens to be in Carol's hometown. I'd already been wanting to get to know her better, so hopefully this helps us grow closer to one another. Enough to share our time together outside of work as, well, even Radio's willing.
Hey, stop on by!
I will. Well, aren't you a cute thing? Oh, thank you. Have you been making sure to get enough protein, miss? What? Oh, yes, I see. See, the key to clear, supple skin is the one called collagen, found abundantly in meats. Just pile a hearty helping into your diet and voila! Eternal beauty is all yours. I'll keep that in mind. The key to clear, supple skin is a protein called collagen, found abundantly in meats. Just pile a hearty helping into your diet and et voila! Eternal beauty is all yours. So that's how it works. Oh, so you made your family stew for dinner? Yep, oh, well, sorta. My dad still ended up helping me a bunch. I'm gonna try doing it on my own next time. Can have some too if it turns out good. Yay, free food! It's like, yeah, it's free food, yeah. Just don't get too excited. I said I'd share if it turns out good. Oh, stop worrying. If anyone's got this, it's you, Kane. Oh.
Come all and have a...
This is practically an orchard's worth of fruit. Are you sure we can have so much? Please, we get them in all the time. Think of this as a way of saying thanks for everything you share with us. Besides, I owe it to Kane for getting Chell so eager to help out at our stall nowadays. Oh, she's been the one spurring him on, if anything. But thanks, I really do appreciate this. I really do appreciate Chell helping out at the register for me today. She slipped up more than a few times, but it's the thought that counts. Yeah. No, I did. No. I came to the Center Marché to pick my wife up, now that she's done with work. Imagine her shock when she sees this bumper crop I snagged along the way. Have to save some room in our stomachs for them after dinner. Okay, so we got dots here. What an adorable little sales girl. I do believe I'll treat myself to something. Aww.
Hey, welcome!
There she is. Hey, welcome to Katao de Dune. Hungry for a late night snack? Then give our canales a try. They're Mr. Dunn's pride and joy, made with oodles of his secret ingredient, love. Aww. It's adorable. It's adorable, didn't I do you? Yes, I did. Just trying to remember which bits we've been to at this point. We'll be piloting Zygres for those mock exercises the day after. Next, right? Now that I hold the rank of Assault Frame Battalion Commander, yep. Training drills or no, I am to treat them as seriously as any live combat. Always in mission mode, you're unshakable, Daddy. Such is the natural state of the mind of a military man. I understand you'll be in Long Lai that same day, Kiseki. What a tremendous privilege getting to see humanity make history with your very own eyes. That's the plan. So that's Sigourney's father. He's part of the Air Force, as I recall. Man's like the textbook definition of a seasoned vet. Wouldn't you like some alcohol, Daddy? Nah, the next time I have a stiff one will be after we pull off this rocket launch. But no need to hold back on my account, Siggy. Eat and drink as much as you want tonight. Like that. Right, so what's going on with Bracer, potential Bracer, and Guardian, I suppose? Please, Gray, train me to be a Bracer. The minimum age for the exam is 16. That gives me 3 years to get serious about this if I crack down now. I'd like to ask you to hear him out too. Lashkar's looked up to the guild for ages, yeah. Way back, it's probably the only path he's willing to take. I had a feeling things would come to this eventually, but this is sooner than I pictured. Tell me, Lashkar, why do you want to be a Bracer? Is it to vent out your regrets over Cray Village? To fulfill the promise you made to your friend? It's genuinely like he had that before anything that happened, really. Well, you're not wrong, obviously, but there's more to it than that. I always dreamed of being a hero. The kind who swoops in and saves the day. And I still do, even after everything that's gone wrong. So now I want to live that life I believed in. In my mind, there's the number one thing that'll make Mum, Dad, Alicia, Kent, and Annie happy. Lashkar, you really have moved on, haven't you? Alright, I'm convinced. We can't start right here and now, but I'll give you the training you're asking for. Yes, thank you so much, Gray. Phew, I'm happy for you, Lashkar. Yeah, again, it's like, it is what Lashkar wanted. Before anything happened, it's like, it's not revenge. It's genuinely just something he wanted to do. Lashkar's serious about this, so I need to step up my engineering studies up a notch. Since there's no clear goal I'm shooting for now, I plan on soaking in as much as know-how as I can. And have Lashkar to thank for getting me in that mindset. I don't know where Rebecca is right now. Like, she got a similar model there, so I'm just wondering, like, yeah. Keep an eye on that angel over there. That saint over there. I just knew Gray would say yes. He's always had me back, even when I screwed up big time. Thinking about what happened to Gray still makes my chest want to explode. That's exactly why I can't freeze up, or else I regret it someday for sure. So I mean it when I say I'm giving this my all. Then I can face Annie and them with my head held high. I've gone astray once before, so far be it from me to take a moral high ground. But I want Lashkar to walk down the straight and narrow. And looking at him now, that's exactly where he's headed. Just the thought of it gives me hope for myself too. The situation right now is hectic, so let's do what we can to straighten it out. For Lashkar's sake too. For Lashkar's sake. Boom. Let's go around this way. What we got around here? Why is there a blue in the tea shop?
Please, step on up.
Oh. The night may well be the last we spend like this. It's surprisingly difficult to process, even with prior notice. If I may, sir, I just want to express how incredibly grateful I am for everything you've taught me up until now. It's regrettable that I can't accompany you the rest of the way, and at such a critical time. Oh no, the CID's orders will be lifted if the project is completed successfully, no? Then you'll be able to return to your original units and post. There's no need to be gloomy about it. Besides, working under President Graham Hart makes for a valuable opportunity, wouldn't you say? Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm sure you have your trepidations, but it's certainly a worthwhile job for a career perspective. You'd better off taking a positive attitude. Just don't lose sight of your ambitions. Face the obstacles before you, and you'll find there's no wall you can't overcome or barrier you can get over. Yes. Senator Ryan, thank you. I must say, though, it's clear how my beloved it's clear how my beloved Mr. Rocksmith, okay. It's clear how beloved Mr. Rocksmith is, if you two are any indication. It's a little much for someone who's nothing more than a retired public servant. Even so, it's because of that I can interact with so many people and be privy to all kinds of information. Maybe it's because I'm retired that I can see and talk about things from a different point of view. As an acting member of the current Republican Party, I'll do all that I can. So please rest assured as you watch over our own nation's future, sir. At any rate, there's no need to worry on my account. No matter the assignment, you two have what it takes to meet Graham Hart's expectations. I'm rooting for you. So stand tall and carry your duties out without fail. Mr. Rocksmith. We will. Thank you again for everything. Return when all is said and done. It's like what they were saying at the Memorial Park. Basically everyone from the CID is getting caught up in all this. Must be especially heart-wrenching for those two. And they should be able to go back once the plan reaches a certain point. It's gotta be tough to part ways with a person you respect more than anyone in the world. What was that? What was that about there, Arnius? Looks like they noticed us. To nobody's surprise. Not exactly interrupting, so it should be fine to say a quick hello. Hello? You two. I heard from the police about what happened after we parted ways. Apparently those suspected to have masterminded the string of incidents showed themselves, correct? Yeah, the fact remains that they slipped through our fingers. Plans to follow their tracks out of the city tomorrow. Thank goodness you're alright though, Senator. Leaving you behind in the Blacklight District had me worried. Yes, well, with the immovable and several top-class Jaeger corpsmen, be corpsmen, wouldn't it? Not corpsmen. I mean, we've seen Jaeger corpsmen in the original game. Well, in Daybreak, though, I mean, you know. Anyway, Jaeger corpsmen on our side. We had enough of an edge to push back the enemy. The majority of the rioters then went above ground, whereupon things were comparatively calm. It's just something snagging at you? And on top of the police and so forth, we also called upon the CID to follow up after the fact. However, there was no indication that they would act at my urging. Instead, the riots were poised to be left to the police entirely. Tolkien and Cody did respond to your summons over at Dirk Memorial Park, but that appears to be an exception. Up until now, the very notion of the CID opting to so deliberately divorce themselves from an incident of this scale would have been unthinkable. Well, by the looks of it, their current stance is butting out of anything not related, and directly related to the space program. So I've heard. But that notwithstanding, those rioters, the strange phenomena that gripped them, there's no guarantee that such variables will have zero bearing on Project Startaker. That they're willing to disregard even this feels less a matter of pouring all of their resources into the space program, but rather an express determination to sacrifice anything and everything if it means accomplishing their objective. They wouldn't go to these lengths unless something demanded it. That much we can probably say for sure. Yep. Assuming that is indeed the case, it will undoubtedly involve not only the current administration, but the country itself and all its citizens. Potentially the whole continent, in which case they ought to be tackling this out in the open as a nation under the accord of its citizens. President Gramhart, of all people, should understand this, and yet just can't wrap my head around these measures. Anyas, what are you not saying? Counterintelligence is imperative where the space program is concerned. From that perspective, one could justify an all-out mobilization. But nevertheless, the personnel reassignments were as abrupt as they were forceful. Gets me thinking. You must have some aim that necessitates measures of this magnitude. One that cannot afford to fail. Oh, it's you two. Not exactly catching us at our best right now. We've come to pay our respects to Mr. Rocksmith in light of the matter I mentioned earlier this evening. Right, respects is definitely the word for it. You guys are a hero to you both. Yes, we owe him a debt that could take our entire lives and more to repay. One that I still wish to see out. No doubt there's much weighing on Cody too, after all, having served as his bodyguard for so long. I know wanting things to stay that way is just my own ego talking. Besides, neither he nor our dad would want me to tie myself down so tight that it puts my back to other opportunities. Cody, I get you. Taking this all on the chin is your way of staying true to your pops and the former press. Exactly. After hearing what he himself had to say, dragging things out any longer would be a faux pas. There's no choice but to face up to what's demanded of me. Then, once this mobilization has ended, I can return to Mr. Rocksmith standing tall. Sounds like Cody's managed to steal himself in his own way. Yeah, ain't really our place to weigh in on that, any more than we have. Our roles will be transforming in a major way from here on out. But our dedication to doing right by Mr. Rocksmith isn't going anywhere. If I can stay true to that by fulfilling my duty as a civil servant, as a soldier, then maybe embracing this change isn't bad in the least. I've known Kato and Cody since the prime of their father's generation. A lengthy stretch of time, to be sure. Still, we ought to treat this as the end of things. Our paths are certain to cross again eventually. It is my hope that the two of them are able to bring their fullest efforts to bear in the place they're needed most. Oh, forgot to ask, what's the former president going to do for security detail in the meantime? The arrangements have already been made on that front. Someone more dependable than us took the initiative on volunteering for the task. Granted, she has her own fair share of circumstances involving the space program. But at this stage, we have no recourse but to place our faith in her and do as we must. Someone more dependable than these two? CID's all hands on deck for Project Stargate, because that narrows down the list a ways. Yeah, who? It was my intention from the start to head back to Long Lai before the rocket launches anyhow. Now that the wheels toward that day have begun to turn, I must decide for myself how to spend the time in between. At the end of the day, we can still stay true to our convictions, even while apart from Mr. Rocksmith. More importantly, we need to steady our hearts and serve our nation however possible. I'm sure Mr. Rocksmith wants just the same of us. Oh, I'm sure. I poured myself a cup of the same espresso, the only brewed for Mr. Rocksmith in the back. Packed one heck of a delicious punch while still keeping a balanced flavor profile. No wonder he's so hooked on them. Nah, just kidding yourself. Oh, you two are actually together. How are you finding my blend of choice? There's quite a gentle mouthfeel, agreeably so. And what of the blend I suggested to you? A few touches sour, but the aftertaste is oh so refreshing. You truly are a person of culture, Elton. I can say the same of you. I do like how they came to like an understanding, though. I'd always assumed you and I were fated to feud, Jumana. But look at us now, thick as thieves. I will even recommend each other the occasional blend. And thank goodness for that. Our exchanges have led to many a lesson learned and epiphany had. Indeed. Shame it's over coffee. Mr. Rocksmith holds a special place in his heart for consummately bitterest pleasures. For him, I prepare a special blend that draws the bitterness out to its absolute breaking point while still maintaining harmony. Perhaps we should box up a variety of beans to go for good measure. No, perhaps we shouldn't. Right, I'm going to use this as a place for us to end this part, and in the next part we'll see about the 4th orb. Yes. So we'll see you in the next part. Ta-da for now.